Hey there viewers, and welcome back to another Bestie video. Over 300,000 Americans are living with leukemia. Every day, more than 107 Americans are diagnosed with this disease, out of which 60 lose the battle. Simply put, leukemia is a type of blood cancer caused by a rise in the number of white blood cells. These excess white blood cells crowd the red blood cells and platelets. This inhibits the white blood cells from working right. The causes of leukemia aren't known, but the factors like family history, genetic disorders, exposure to radiation, and smoking can very well aggravate the condition. Its symptoms can often be confused with the flu, but unlike the flu, the symptoms don't go away. If you're wondering what the symptoms for leukemia are, then stay tuned till the end to find out. Is shortness of breath common? What about bone and joint pain? Is fatigue a sign of leukemia? Today, we'll be talking about the warning signs of leukemia. What is leukemia? Let's start off by talking about what exactly leukemia is. It's a cancer of the blood where the white blood cells outnumber the red blood cells. You may be wondering, aren't white blood cells good for the body? Well, normally, yes. White blood cells, or WBCs, are important for maintaining a strong immune system. They also protect the body from foreign elements like viruses, bacteria, and fungi. However, in the case of leukemia, WBCs don't function like normal. They divide very quickly and crowd the red blood cells. This makes it difficult for oxygen to get to the blood cells, fight infection, and control bleeding. The onset of leukemia can be acute or chronic and can affect not just the blood cells but also the bone marrow, the place where white blood cells are produced. This rapid, out-of-control growth of abnormal cells spills out of the bloodstream, and that has a negative impact on the lymphatic system. Have you ever had leukemia? Let us know in the comment section below. Warning signs of leukemia. Different types of leukemia can cause different problems. You might not notice anything in the early stages, but developing symptoms can include: Number 1. Night sweats. A good night's sleep is critical to keeping your immune system strong, especially when you're fighting a disease like leukemia. But those with this problem don't often get that luxury. The reason? Night sweats. Part of the reason for night sweats is that the body turns up its internal thermostat to fight the cancer. Leukemia patients also tend to be susceptible to secondary infections like colds and flu, which can cause fevers. When this happens, you'll feel feverish all day, but even more so noticeable at night, and can make you wake up from sleep in a sweat. Number 2. Bone and joint pain. Over 20% of people suffering from leukemia experience bone and joint pain at some point. This is mainly because the bone marrow gets overcrowded with cancer cells. In some cases, these cells create a mass near the spinal cord nerves or in the joint. When bone pain occurs, it's most often felt in the long bones of the arms and legs and in the ribs and sternum of the rib cage. Joint pain and swelling in the large joints, such as the hips and shoulders, may develop several weeks after bone pain begins. Number 3. Easy bruising. A bruise develops when the blood vessels under the skin are damaged. Normally, white blood cells are responsible for fixing this bruise from within. However, in the case of leukemia patients, since their white blood cells don't perform normally, they easily bruise and take longer to heal. Reason being, their bodies don't make enough platelets to plug up the bleeding vessels. Leukemia bruises look like any other bruise, there's just more of them. They can be medium to large and can be accompanied with tiny red spots or rashes. Number 4. Headache. Headaches may seem like general symptoms for several issues, and in most cases they are certainly harmless. It may be different to differentiate between types of headaches when it comes to a leukemia headache. Headaches in leukemia patients are loud, throbbing, severe, and long-lasting. It may feel like a very different type of headache, and you'll find yourself waking up in the middle of the night with night sweats and fever-like symptoms. Number 5. Shortness of breath. Difficulty breathing, also known as dyspnea, is another warning sign of leukemia. This happens because the leukemia cells clump together around the thymus gland, responsible for the production of T cells, which take care of the maintenance and strengthening of the immune system. The mass of cells present can also cause pain with difficulty in breathing. If this elevates to wheezing, coughing, or painful breathing, seek medical attention. Number 6. Fatigue. Everyone experiences fatigue at some point in their life. This is one of the easiest indications your body gives that it needs rest. However, the kind of fatigue experienced in the case of leukemia is very different. The type of fatigue is known as cancer-related fatigue. It's characterized by extreme or persistent exhaustion that disrupts your daily life. People who have cancer-related fatigue have no energy and find it extremely difficult to complete even simple, everyday tasks that others take for granted. Number 7. Frequent infection. Recurrent infection is a sign that the body is not able to produce infection-fighting white blood cells. Prior to the diagnosis of leukemia, over 20% of patients experienced frequent infections. This happens because the body is incapable of producing white blood cells due to your immune system being compromised. A weak immune system makes it difficult to rapidly destroy any harmful bacteria or viruses that make its way into your body. This is one of the trickiest symptoms for detecting the onset of leukemia, since it may often be confused with flu or other infections before being diagnosed. Number 8. Loss of weight and appetite. Appetite loss is a common side effect of cancer and its treatment. You really don't feel like eating anything, even pizza. Ongoing appetite loss may lead to serious complications like weight loss, not getting nutrients the body needs, and weakness from muscle loss. These issues can slow recovery and lead to breaks in treatment. There are several factors that cause a loss of appetite, like changes in metabolism, enlarged spleen or liver, certain medications, and surgery or radiation therapy in the gastrointestinal organs like the stomach or intestine. Before we move forward, are you looking for tricks to increase your appetite? Check out 8 ways to increase your appetite. Now let's get back to the different warning signs of leukemia. Number 9. Swollen lymph nodes. Swollen lymph nodes are a result of infection, which isn't good because lymph nodes themselves play an important role in the ability to fight off infection. In leukemia, lymph nodes get swollen from a buildup of cancerous cells that have traveled from the bone marrow into the nodes. People with chronic leukemia may have noticeably swollen lymph nodes on either side of the neck, above the collarbone, under the arms, or around the groin. Painless, swollen lymph nodes are one of the most common warning signs when it comes to leukemia. Number 10. Recurring nosebleed. Nosebleeds can happen for a wide variety of reasons, from fragile blood cells, infection of the nose lining or sinuses, nose picking, or an allergy that causes hay fever. Nosebleeds can be common, but if they're reoccurring, it can be a symptom for something more serious like leukemia. This happens mainly among cancer patients due to the low platelet count and weakened damaged tissue or blood vessels as a result of radiation or tumor. Number 11. Fever. Fever accompanied with persistent fatigue, severe infection, and weight loss go hand in hand in the case of leukemia. Leukemia cells grow at an alarming rate and fill up the bone marrow. Because they crowd out the good blood cells, they're less likely healthy white blood cells to fight the infection. In rare cases, a persistent low-grade fever with no known cause may be a sign of cancer. Number 12. Red spots on the skin. One symptom that people with leukemia might notice is tiny red spots on their skin. These pinpoints of blood are caused by tiny broken blood vessels, called capillaries under the skin. As leukemia progresses, white blood cells found in the bone marrow may begin to filter into the layers of the skin, resulting in lesions. It may look like red-brown to purple firm bumps or nodules and represent the leukemia cells depositing in the skin. Leukemia ranks among the top 10 most common forms of cancer. There's more than one form of leukemia which primarily affects children below the ages of 15 and adults above the age of 50. But with any form of cancer, if you identify the warning signs early, it'll be easier to fight the disease. To learn more about the symptoms of cancer, check out these 8 signs of cancer that are almost always ignored. Also, check out 12 cancer-causing foods that you should never eat. Watch one or both of these videos to learn more about the various symptoms of cancer. Have you ever had leukemia? Do you know someone who does? Tell us in the comments.